What's up, everybody? What's up? Today's Monday. Last Monday of the month. Last Monday of the month. Last Monday of the month. Yo, this week, look here. This week, it seems like it's probably going to go by. This month done went by. Heck, the whole year doesn't seem like it's going by so fast. Man, 26 is getting out of here, ain't it? Hey, thanks for watching here, everybody. You know what I'm saying? I just hope everybody's doing well today. Hope you had a good night rest. Hope you had a good weekend. Yeah, so everything on this and it's doing we're doing well. Everything is a okay, copacetic. We're just still still easing along, learning some new things. Right now I'm currently learning Bash scripting, right? For Linux, right? Because the majority of my computers are Linux, you know, and so we we want to learn as much as we can with Bash scripting because I've been before I started to really getting in depth with it. Earlier, it was like last year. Earlier, or like last year, I was learning some of it. I started learning parts of the what's called the if statements. How you say if if this is, then do this, like that. But I was learning and I got very good at it, whatever. And I kind of like stopped for a minute. Life, took control. I was trying to get some things done, whatever, last year. So, but then I started to weigh out some things. I was like, hey, I really would like to try to get a adequate skill under my belt, because I know this AI thing is happening so rapidly. I mean, AI is like zip, 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 zip. But I don't want I don't want you to be afraid of it. I don't want you to be afraid of it. Don't listen to all the hype about AI taking jobs and all that kind of mess. This, that, whatever the case may be, or you're too old to do this, you're too old to do that, or you don't know enough about this or that or the other. Look, all that's hype. Don't listen to none of that mess. You know what I'm saying? You just keep going. Keep going. Keep learning what you're learning and doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Do what works for you. You know, when things started to change, you'll know. Because when it starts to affect you, then you'll know. Then you'll know how to change. But like I said, I'm kind of like learning this AI thing, and I'm real good at it too. I just be on ChatGPT and learning the prompts and learning and having AI teach me how to prompt properly. Because everybody just treat that crap like it's some Google, like it's Google. You know what I'm saying? And it's not Google. It's you know actually you have to train AI. But I digress. But like I said, I'm learning this Bash stuff, and it's like very, and it teaches you how to. It even teaches you how to. I can write something, a program, just so I can look inside my computer to make sure all my files is there, or just to make sure that uh, you know, just to make sure that you know, whenever I transfer a file over from another computer, I can make sure that that file is there, and all that kind of stuff. And so I just wanted to, I'm kind of like learning something, just something to learn. It doesn't hurt for you to learn something, because if you're not growing, you're dying, and that's just. I'm sorry to say it, but that's the bottom line. I mean, look here. But anyway, so you know, that's what we got going on. That's kind of what we learning, because I was conflicting. Well, I didn't know what I was going to say. What I was going to say was, I was conflicting with Python. Learning Python and learning Bash. You know what I'm saying? I said, well, since I'm already learning Bash, I might as well just stay with that and just stay stuck with that. And then once that really started to make sense, Python I probably would make a whole lot more. Would make a whole lot more sense to me. But I do understand Python, even though I've had the experience with Bash. You know, and even with the little experience, the little stuff that I did learn, I did understand Python a little bit better. So that's why I said, well, let me just stick with, kind of stick with Bash. But Bash scripting is not a bad. It's not hard. It's just you just got to take time out to read, learn, and comprehend. That kind of thing. So, and and when you see it work out, if you like video games, if you well, I can't speak for the new generation, no, individuals. No offense, but no, I can't speak for the new generation. But I just like to figure things out. What I'm saying? If I can't figure it out, saying once I figure it out and I say it works, I don't forget. That's for me. That works for me because used to like those types of video games. When I could see. I used to I used to love Zelda, Orchid of Time, the Wind Waker, all of them. Majora's Mask. I used to pass them. I used to get them and play them and defeat them all. Defeat all of them. And Majora's Mask was no joke, though. That was, oh my goodness gracious. Wind Waker's wasn't either. I didn't care for Wind Waker too much because it looked too cartoonish. But, but nevertheless, I played all of them. You know what I'm saying? And learned them. I just like that type of stuff, figuring out that type of stuff. Because it started with Mario Brothers. Mario Brothers got me started with with the figuring out things. Going into these different rooms and hitting these hitting the hitting invisible things where you can get the coins and stuff like that and get the extra men. And then what I'm saying, you going into different pipes. You can skip over different board. Oh man, Mario Brothers was a pretty good game to figure out. Very good game. The very first one. I'm talking about the very first one when the Nintendo box was light gray, the original Nintendo with the first Mario Brothers back in the 80s when it first came out. When it very first came out, that one. That's the one I'm talking about. That was the very first starting point of me trying to figure out. So this Bash scripting is what kind of got me into. That's what makes me, it gives me a, But anyway, enough about, about that. What I'm saying? I just look. So today, we're gonna talk about. I want to talk about today a little bit about So I hear that the Piccadilly's over in the medical mall is finna close down. I wonder why. I wonder why. Questions. Many, if you know, leave me a comment, please. Leave me. Was it politics being played, or what happened? Why did they decide to leave the medical mall? What is going on in that medical mall? Is there something political going on? Because why did Council Member Kenneth Stokes come on the air? And I was trying to read him, but I could be wrong. But for what I read, he knows what's going on. He knows what's going on. He knows what's going on with that medical mall. That's his ward. He knows what's going on over there. And I bet you all the tea in China, he knows about what the political issue is. Because it seems to me, if you pay attention, resident, if you pay attention, you notice how the university got up out of there? I don't know who else is coming up in it. I hear Baptist. I'm not for sure. I don't know. Allegedly, I don't say. It's all alleged. I hear what's it? Jackson. What's it? The Comprehensive Center. I hear. So I don't know what they're gonna do with the facility over there. Off of Mega Evers. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do with that facility over there. But I hear that they're coming over there. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening, but there's something going on with that medical mall. Question: Why did the Jackson Water Department decide to come back over there? See, and they're gonna, of course, they're probably gonna be in it for the long haul this time, like they were before. You know what I'm saying? Now, they did have it. They were over at the Metro, right? Remember that? Now they're over back at the medical mall. You know what I'm saying? Pushing that their services over at the medical mall. So, but there's something political going on with that why the Piccadilly's left and everything. Because to me, according to what I read, by me reading Kendall Stokes, it don't seem like he was too, like, protest. He wasn't protesting like he normally do about it. He was just saying, and then he said at the end he hoped that another cafeteria would come to help the older folks, this, that, whatever the case may be. Let me tell you something. There's something going on. There is something going on. You know what I'm saying? If you know anything, please leave me a comment. You can contact me at Blind Intelligence at blindintelligence718@gmail.com. Send me a message. Send me a message. What's up with that McDonald's over there on Woodrow Wilson? Leave me a message on that. Did they ever reopen? Is they still closed down? You know what I'm saying? What's going on with that business over there? Yeah, because I really don't know. I don't know. I don't get out like that, just trying to see what's happening. But yeah, Piccadilly's, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, business is business. But let me say this. Call me narcissistic, but I'm finna put in my time for a minute. Chicken's coming home to roost. Let me tell you why I say that. Because I went over to Piccadilly's over at the 118. Right there on Robinson Road. And I went to go over there, for a job, and I mean literally, the very first time I signed up for ZipRecruiter. That was the very first job I applied to, and they sent me they sent me an invite, so I went. When I walked my blind tail up in there, them songers, the only thing that they did for me is they gave me a free iced tea with no ice. With no sugar. Because that's what I ordered. It was free. And I was willing to pay for it. So I sat there, and the lady came out to interview me. And then 2 or 3 days later, the dude called me up and told me that they couldn't hire me because I'm blind. I said, that's some discriminatory crap that I've ever heard. What if you run into a dish cart? You shouldn't set it out there. He couldn't do nothing with me. Bro, I was so disgusted with conversating with this fellow. I'm tired of that mess. And I'm going to clean it up. I'm not going to say I was going to say if I could help it. No, I'm going to help it. I'm going to help everybody that goes through this. by being the guinea pig to discrimination. So the chickens is coming home to roost. But see, for me, I'm not like a lot of other content creators that will have laughed at them for, for this. You know what I'm saying? Piccadilly's going out of business because people have lost their jobs, and that's sad. That's sad. People has lost their jobs, but dog eat dog world. Dog eat dog world. Because you turned down me, now that business is gone. Now what about me? Many of those people over there will probably have a job within the next 90 days. I have no doubt about it. You know what I'm saying? Jobs for me don't come a dime a dozen. When you are blind or visual impaired, they don't come a dime a dozen. Pay attention, resident. They don't come a dime a dozen. And I don't give a ding dong what kind of credentials you got. Keep that up. Let me tell you something. Keep that in your pipe. Keep that in your pipe. Matter of fact, keep that in your pocket. Add some to your pipe and smoke it. Because I'm going to tell you something. I don't care how much education you have. I don't care how much education you have, how much you put on that, what you put on that resume. When you walk into that building and you got a cane in front of you to help you see, not to help you walk, and you got shades on, the venue changes. And for black folks, in my opinion, that sucks. It really sucks when you get discriminated by your own people. I remember there was an episode on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when Carlton was trying to get into that you're trying to get into the fraternity, and they denied it because he talks like he talked like a white boy. He likes all the music that white boys like. He wasn't culturally African American culturally driven. But he did everything that was supposed to be done. And they denied it. Black folks. And he said in that show, I'm running the same race, jumping the same hurdles. Why is you tripping me up? See my point? So, chickens coming home to roost. Piccadilly's. Hey. And that's for anybody that has a discriminatory conscience about hiring a blind individual or a visual impaired individual or anybody of that has a disability. Because just because they have a disability, they could probably add more value to your company, to a company, than a person that does not have a disability. Now, let's just keep that 1,000. I said earlier I was telling y'all earlier in my video, right? In this video, in my statement, that I'm learning this scripting thing on Linux, right? This bash thing, right? I can point out all the nooks and crannies that the average person won't be able to, because I pay attention. And I know I do, because everybody's just skimming over. And you're not looking at the spaces. You're not counting the spaces. You're not doing this. You're not doing. There's something that you're not doing that I am. And that's why I would be more successful than you will. Because I have to pay attention. See, there are certain things that I have to do. I have to pay attention to details. When I go in my kitchen, I have to know where everything is. So when I go and make groceries, I know where everything goes. I know where it's empty. I know where it's empty, so I know where spots it needs to be, what spots need to be replenished. You see what I'm saying? Whenever I take a plate out, I know where the plate go. When I take a bowl out, I know where the bowl go. Fork, knife, spoon, cooking utensil, everything goes in a certain place. See, I have to do that. See, you don't. You don't have to. You can leave that song going on the counter. You can watch that sucker and throw that song on the counter and go on about your business. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. I was sighted before. I did it myself. Don't play with me. Don't sit here and don't sit there and say, nah, I gotta keep it organized too. That's a ding dong lie. And you telling the lie. If you out there saying, that goes for us too. Nah, that bull crap too. Come on. I wasn't born blind. I wasn't born blind. I lost my sight at 31 years old. Come on, man. I got 30 years in the game of being sighted. I know what the color red look like. So don't tell me I know what the habits is. But, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. But, so much for that. So much for that. Jackson, yo. Yeah, I'm on one today, yo. I mean, I had to, I kind of was like, because the reason why it was surprising for me to hear that, but, am I empathizing? No. No. Because the way I was treated. Because of the way I was treated. No, I'm not empathizing. I don't empathize with that. No business. That business. No, I'm not. No. Nope. And I hope the business over there on 18 go out of business. I hope they all go out of business. The way they treat me, I hope they all go out of business. I mean, I'm sorry to say it. I do. Don't say that. Don't be that way. Please. 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 I got a livelihood too. Come on now, let's keep that real. I got a livelihood too, just like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? But anyway. So I'm back on mine with this Jackson Edwards Wiley Airport situation. I guess they're gonna be reconvening today in court. I wonder what that is going to look like for them. But I was reading Jackson Free Press, and in the article that I was reading, they lined up the witnesses, but they never said what witnesses belong to who. What witnesses belong to who? Because I'm like this. Because it said, because I was looking at the mainstream and the mainstream media, and the mainstream media was saying that that the plaintiffs have their witnesses and the defendants have their witnesses. But when I read the article, I'm like, well, which witnesses is whose? Who is the witness for who? You know, because I want to know who's going to present the stronger case. That's the reason why I was looking at that. I'm trying to see it in this. Yeah, this is a bench trial. It's a bench trial. It's going to be a bench trial. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be a jury trial. But I'm like, man. I'm like, but honestly, I really think that they look. Let me say this, and I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna tell y'all just like this. If 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 the state gets the Jackson Municipal Airport and the state gets the water, because they still trying to produce a nine-member board on both sides. On both sides. I wonder is it going to be the same people? Nah, I don't think so. Nah, it's not going to be the same people. Because they're talking about on the Jackson Airport, they talking about bringing people in with credentials, you know, I wonder trying to see find a word with the area. What's that word? You know the word. It eludes me. It eludes me. Erical. But they're gonna have some type of experience. You know, I think some folks have to have pilot license and all that kind of mess. You know what I'm saying? But they have to have some type of experience in in that type of business. But I mean that type of But I'm like, what does having a pilot license and stuff have to do with running a business? You know what I'm saying? It's because you're a pilot, that don't mean, or you got a pilot license, that don't mean you know how to run a business, or you don't know. These folks, the folks that are already there, they already know how this thing works. You know what I'm saying? What the hell they gonna be advisors? What? but I'm just saying this. But let me say this: if the state takes over that, and they take over because basically what they're doing is they're taking over the resources of Jackson. You're gonna cripple the city. They're gonna cripple the city. Ain't no doubt. I say that with a fresh mind, fresh heart. They're gonna cripple the city. What way for you to take over is to get the finances. If I can control how you control a nation, right? You control their bread, control their finances. If you control a city's finances, you got them. You got them. What did what did Rockefeller say? I want to be in control of the money. Y'all can have your laws. Put me over the money. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, that's what this is about. They want control, because that's the only finances that the city of Jackson has. And all seven of the council members know this. They know this. They know this mess. I want to say something here, but I don't want to get in trouble. I swear. But look, I'm telling you, I see something so crystal clear, but I don't want to get in trouble. And it's like, because it's not, I don't believe in coincidences that all of a sudden this pops up. The Ted DiBiase case, the Jackson, and all of a sudden now you got former Jackson mayor, that case, and then now you got this right now in process, in progress, with the Jackson, with Jackson going to court, with going up against the state. I'm not feeling this mess. I'm not feeling this mess. I don't believe in coincidences. I don't believe in coincidences for the life of me. You know what I'm saying? And there's something in the make. I'm telling y'all, look, I'm telling y'all, look, I'm gonna tell y'all like this. Smoke and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors. It appears in the mirror, but then you get smoke blown up your ass. Let me say it like that. That's the smoke. The smoke is what blown up your ass. But then the mirrors is what you, when you look at that reflection, that ain't what it's not what it really appears. You know what I'm saying? Man, nah, I ain't I'm not feeling this. There's something going on. Something is not don't sit right with me. It just don't sit right. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all, man. I'm telling you, you got, come on, man. You got like, we got a new administration. Come on, bruh. Put that together. Then we got a new administration. Come on, man. Then the man, he trying to balance this budget. All of a sudden now the city's budget need to be balanced. I'm not feeling it. Tell y'all, man, y'all better pay attention a little bit more than just what's on the surface, because these people think they slick. They not slick, y'all. And I'm telling you, it's something behind the scenes that they're trying to deceive us Jacksonians. They trying to deceive y'all. You know what I'm saying? You can't let them do that. Can't let them deceive you. The deception game that they're playing is a very good one. Because the reason why is because they're trying to make you think that they're on your side. You better pay attention. They're trying to make you think that they're on your side. And they're not. They're trying to make you think that everything is, everything is for the good of the city. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you. I get the cleanups. See, the mayor is smart. He got people around him that's smart. If he could get the residents to clean up the neighborhoods, well, that alleviate a lot of stuff from bridges and drainage. Then he can cut a lot of the fluff out of bridges and drainage. Contracts, contracting companies, sewer, water, whatever. That's cutting the fluff out of the budget. I'm telling you, it's more than what this thing is. There's something else going on. And I'm not telling you, and I'm not talking about it as a inquiry. This is not an inquiry. This is not a something don't sit right with me statement. I'm telling you, listen to me clear. And I'm gonna say it one time. There is something going on. There is something going on, but you must research it. There is something going on, and you must research it. The municipal airport in Jackson Water is the only financial resources that the city has that the taxpayers are paying into, right? The taxpayers is paying into the city, far as your bridges and drainage, that part of the, that parks and recs, water, whatever, all of that. That's, the sewer. Well, that's already contracted. So if it's contracted, then then that money, then whatever revenue that's being generated for that is going into a fund. Pay attention to that. That's going into a fund. All that bread is going into a fund. Is they going to contract out bridges and drainage? Who knows? Is they Parks and Rec? It's over with. What happened to the Parks Department? What happened to them workers? You know what I'm saying? What they do with them cats? They cut them, or they move them somewhere else. So now, because they, like I said, they ain't got no sewer no more. So they cut that out. Some of them folks, I don't know if they lost their jobs or whatever the case may be, but they put them somewhere else. I don't know. What did they do with them? With those employees? What they do with the water department employees? Because you had a sewer department and a water department. Employees for the city of Jackson. But all that stuff is subcontracted. But now, all the tax dollars is rolling, that's going into a budget. Now, pay attention. Let's do the numbers here. If you got a contract with a company, you paying them a certain amount. But your sewer, your sewer is budgeted for a certain amount. They not gonna get all that bread. That contractor is not gonna get all that money because they're gonna go on up big. Think about it. They're gonna get on up big. Let's do the numbers. Let's say your budget is $50,000. The budget is $50,000 for the sewer. We're gonna do it. I'm gonna do this. We're gonna do it real quick. $50,000 for the sewer, right? All right, cool. Contractor come in and they put in the bid. They bid that sucker. You got 4 contractors. Who got the best bid? Who got the best people? All right, they got the best. See, it ain't about the bread. Cause let's say they all bid for $30,000. Let's say they got the best people. They got the equipment. Boom. They're gonna get the job. But see, they not gonna bid. They say $50,000. If you do 50,000, we not doing 50,000. They say we'll do it for 30. They just saved 20. If they said they did it for 40, they saved 10. Still, that 10 is still going back into the budget. That $10,000 can go somewhere else. But see, they're not going to go for 10. They're probably going to go for 20. I'm just giving a point. It's going to be something like, it's going to be a number like that. Because they want to save. That's a budget. Now, where the rest of that bread going to go to? Now they got that covered. So now we're looking at, let's say, other projects. You know what I'm saying? We got other projects. What if, just say for example, what if bridges and drainage, what if they cut bridges and drainage? They get a contractor for that. They got a whole crew for that. They budgeted. Let's say they budgeted for $70,000. Somebody do it for $50,000. They gonna bid for that. They gonna go for it. This is how they do it. This is the way the numbers work, partner. So they're gonna get the savings. But where that revenue going? Okay, We can sit around here and talk about where it's actually where it's going, but we know it's gonna go to shortfalls. We know it's gonna go to shortfalls. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna go to some shortfalls. You know what I'm saying? But that revenue could also help small businesses. Small businesses. Small businesses like folks that's coming in that want to do yards, that want to do like the works that they can't get to. But like I said, those are the numbers. But that's how it works. So I mean, y'all need to keep your eyes and ears open. You know what I'm saying? I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.